In recent weeks, there have been terrible cases of migrant ships smuggling African refugees from Libya across the sea to Italy. They're typically intercepted by the Italian Coast Guard, sometimes too late. In fact, hundreds of people have died. You can see pictures of these ships, people crammed in every possible square inch. It's a very short journey from Libya to Italy, and they just have to make it into the warm embrace of the Coast Guard. They will be brought ashore, treated as refugees, and be given some sort of permanent resident status, perhaps to reunite with their families. It has become a veritable superhighway across the Mediterranean, and it's obviously causing problems, not just the death of those people who were smuggled. Like other people smugglers, they're paying money to unsavory captains just for the chance at a better life. But not all of them, I don't think, can be treated as harmless refugees. And the reason I say that is because the Islamic State terrorist group has announced their plans to invade Italy from their toehold in Libya. They have said this, and it's quite credible. In fact, you might recall when they had one of their mass throat slittings a few months ago, and they filmed the blood of these Christians flowing into the Mediterranean Sea. Their explanation for this theater of the macabre was that the blood of these murdered Christian prisoners would flow across the Mediterranean to Italy, which is the crucible of Catholic Christianity. So the Islamic State has very clearly on many occasions said they are coming for Europe, and in particular they are coming for Italy. Now, I'm obviously not saying every person in these ships is an Islamic State terrorist, but many of these ships are overwhelmingly male. These are healthy working-age men who could do something in North Africa. Perhaps they're just economic migrants, or perhaps they are part of this Islamic State promised invasion. All of which leaves the obvious question, what should Italy do about it? I mean, should you turn these people back to sea where they're likely going to drown? Do you say no to genuine refugees? Well, Australia has a lesson that I think Italy could learn from. Australia is just as liberal as Italy, and it cares just as much about innocent people falling into the sea. But what happened was Australia accepted so many of these migrants that word got out. If you can just get to Australia, or even just to the Australian Coast Guard, you're set. They'll actually take you the rest of the way. So Australia made this video, which was translated into various Asian languages, and put it on the internet. Here, just watch a few moments of the video.
The Australian government policy for combating maritime people smuggling has not changed. There are only two options for people who travel illegally by boat to Australia. They will be intercepted and turned back, or sent to another country.
What a smart video, and you put that up in every Asian language, you're going to dissuade a lot of people from trying to make the journey. It's a rough journey, a dangerous journey. You often have to pay your human trafficker thousands of dollars. I bet this made a real dent in demand and even supply, because smugglers would say, I'm going to be arrested, have my ship seized, or something like that. Now, by the way, Australia is just as liberal and just as compassionate as any European country, so they don't leave people to die in the Pacific. They take them to one of several holding areas on islands, not the Australian mainland, Christmas Island being one example. They're given medical care, they're given food and clothing, but they are not allowed to then just melt away into Australia proper. They are usually sent either back home, or if it's a dangerous place, they're sent to a third-party country like the island of Nauru, where they are allowed to live, and Nauru has agreed to this in advance. By the way, Australia pays Nauru a form of a reverse bounty for every refugee that Nauru takes. I don't know if it's $10,000 or $50,000, whatever it is surely cheaper than the hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, that it would cost if these folks came to Australia and then brought their family and all the welfare and medical and things in perpetuity, let alone the violation of Australian sovereignty. Australia has stopped these human smugglers dead in their tracks, not through heartlessness, but through firmness. They do take the sad cases and put them in a neutral third party. They give these people a hope on life instead of sending them back to hell. But they do not allow for an invasion of Australia. I don't think Italy or the European Union has the chops. I don't think they have the courage or the self-respect to stop taking hundreds or thousands of people who simply walk up to the country and say, I'm here. Even though the Islamic State has threatened to use this very tactic, I just don't think Europe cares about its own survival anymore. For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.